Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Monday, October 21st. I have a wonderful co-host with me.
Here I am.
I'm Bree Cox Kennedy.
And I'm Michael Taylor.
We are going to have a lineup for you today. How was your weekend?
It was a great weekend. I actually played golf over at Ben Brown's or the ranch, whatever you call it nowadays. I'll just say that. It was as much as my golf game went, but it was a fun weekend. How about you?
Well, I'll try not to one-up you, even though I love Ben Brown's.
Where'd you play?
I didn't play golf,
okay.
But I was in Healdsburg, eating and drinking my way through 4 glorious days in Northern California.
Oh, wow.
I loved
Fun.
it. I loved it.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's one. You one-upped me. You got me.
I got him.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Well, let's talk about what's on our show today, and then we got a good one for you as well. Not just talking about our weekend, but we got Pacific Financial Planners Jerry Slusowicz is going to be on the program talking about what we do if a Republican wins, what we do if a Democrat wins, and what happens if there's gridlock in terms of your investment planning. And then from the Republican Club, we have Pat Mincone and Brigadier General Michael Aguilar are going to be on the show. They're going to be talking about some great stuff they have coming up at the Republican Club. He's going to be one of their speakers. We'll tell you all about it a little later in the program.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that. But in the meantime, let's keep you informed. As we all know, the 2024 presidential general election is coming up soon. We've got a pop-up vote center location that'll be taking place Saturday, November 2nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Laguna Woods Village Clubhouse 3.
So get out there and vote.
Get out there.
Get out there and vote. Make sure you do that.
Do
it's
it.
great. It's only for village residents, so it's going to be closed, and it's going to be a secure area only for village residents to be able to come out there and do that.
Wonderful.
Let's take a look at our weather. And we got a great day. We had some Santa Anas. You know, there was almost like I don't know if you noticed it, but there was like ash in the air. It almost looked like the fire because the Santa Anas blew all the ash up from the old fires over at the airport fire. And it was kind of sketchy at first. I thought, oh my gosh, is there another fire? But it wasn't just the Santa Anas. Santa Ana conditions are kind of with us for the next couple days. Then we're going to start a cooling trend, as you can see there. We got 77 for today, 76 Tuesday, 75, and then we start to cool off later in the week, and should be pretty nice, but not too bad. The Santa Anas are calmed down a little bit, but yeah, it was a little weird over the weekend.
Yeah, that was weird. I flew in and I saw this ribbon of orange red, and I thought, oh no, more fires. But looks like they got them out, I hope. On our Sunrise Sunset segment this morning, we've got a beautiful photo sent to us from Dave Southworth. Thank you so much, Dave. This is Aliso Creek with all those beautiful mallards enjoying their time in the water. Sunrise this morning was at 7:01 a.m. Sunset this evening will be at 6:09. If you'd like to send us your gorgeous photos, we'd love to see them and display them for all to see. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken, and in a horizontal format, please.
There you go. We love seeing those pictures. Okay, guys, when we come back, we're going to be talking about your financial picture and what it means when the election is over. Stay with us for that. No meetings, but we'll be right back with Pacific Financial Planners.
RadNet? You've probably heard our name and seen our commercials, but you still might not know who we are. RadNet is the largest provider of outpatient imaging services in the United States, with over 8,000 employees and almost 400 imaging centers in 7 states. Likely, if you have had diagnostic imaging, you have experienced RadNet's high-quality, cost-effective imaging services. With 35 years of expertise, RadNet is leading into the future with advanced technology and the very latest AI technology. We are positioned for the future of healthcare. RadNet, leading radiology forward.
Attention all club organizers, party planners, and those who simply love to gather and celebrate life's special moments. Are you tired of the hassle of cooking for your events? Looking for a convenient and delicious solution? Introducing our easy and convenient catering trays, perfect for groups of any size from 35 to 90. Need a larger space to host your event? Look no further than our restaurant's banquet room, the perfect venue for your next gathering. Call us today to place your catering order or reserve our banquet room for your next event. Create memories and traditions with Polly's Pies.
Dr. Farhumand and her associates at Brilliant Smile are excited to announce we now feature cone beam computed tomography. CBCT scans have many benefits over traditional x-rays. They are fast, safe, non-invasive, and provide better care to our patients. The 3D images provide an accurate view of teeth, bones, and soft tissue. It allows us to diagnose and treat more effectively. Also, it features modern diagnosing of sleep apnea by checking the airways and obstructions. Get started today. Call Brilliant Smile Laguna Woods Village favorite dentist.
Seniors fear running out of money more than death itself, and the #1 mistake you can make is underestimating volatility, which can derail your retirement. For 35 years now, I've coached seniors to financial independence by using 2 simple rules. Never take big losses and create income along the way. It's your financial future. Call now to get a free risk analysis to ensure your investments are protected, and we'll send you our Safer Money System, 949-219-0692.
As we all know, the election always gets investors a little bit jittery. I know for me, I can speak to that. Here to talk about investment strategies, no matter the outcome, we welcome Jerry. I'm gonna let you pronounce your name because I've never met you before.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Bree.
Nice to have you. Welcome.
Welcome to the program. So let's get right. Good to see you. Let's get right to it. In terms of how people react. In terms of when the election's coming up for investments. Many people are kind of clueless on how the government works and how it can really affect your financial plan, right?
Exactly right, Michael. There's so many people on both sides, the extremes, and people who are normally not extremists are somewhat acting extreme to some great degree. Friday, someone here, said, okay, if Trump wins, I'm moving to Portugal. I've had other people tell me if Harris wins, I've got to leave the country.
Sure.
And they have their reasons, and they tell me why it is. And I've got people calling me pretty much every day. I want to meet with you. I want to talk to you. I want to sell everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because of the outcome of the election. And again, to some great degree, I think that people don't really know how things work. I've got a slide on that we have 3 branches of government. It's not just the president. There's the executive branch is the president, and then there's the legislative branch, which is the House and the Senate. And there's 100 people in the Senate, 435, I believe it is, in the House, and then you have the judiciary, and 2 of those 3 can overrule the other.
Right.
And so
we call those checks and balances.
Checks and balances. And so it really isn't just the president. Yet this election, more than any I've ever seen, has people just like, if the one person wins, whatever one it is, that all heck's going to break loose. And I think that people need to really understand that it's not that simple to take over the government and to just say, okay,
and
this is what we're going to be.
This same scenario played itself out in the last presidential election as well, because I remember the same dialogues that I heard people, moving out of the country or selling off everything, and so it really, the word jittery really does come into play because people are just kind of frozen. With,
they want to sell
what to do.
They really do. And here's my advice for that. If you have a retirement account, 401k, 403b, IRA, something like that, and you really feel that way, my job's not to tell you how to think or what to do. But if you feel that way and it's in a qualified account, go ahead and sell everything because there's no tax implications unless you draw it off. Just keep it in an IRA, put it in a money market, you'll get 4%, or put it in a CD that comes due in December, and then you can figure out what you're going to do. But if it's in a non-qualified account, let's say your trust, your individual name, then you start having problems. There are things you could do to hedge yourself, etc. But my opinion is to wait and see, because it does depend not just who wins the presidency. There's more to it. There really is. And so, if, for example, you have, let's say a Trump wins.
Let's say a Republican wins, right?
Yes.
So
What are the
what does that
possible
look like?
outcomes?
Well, if the Republican wins, it depends on who takes the House and the Senate.
Right.
Now, the thing is about the Senate is that it's a 51-41 Democratic hold today, and one of the seats, Joe Manchin, a Democrat, is out. He's not coming back. And there's a Republican governor who's very popular. He's going to take that seat.
Right.
We're very confident of that. So now it comes down to, does it switch? Well, the Senate seats are every 6 years. And so they divide it up, 33 one year, 33 the next election year, and then 34 to make 100. This is the 34 year, but there's 23 Democratic seats and only 11 Republican seats.
Right.
So the likely is 2 to 1 that the Republicans are going to take the Senate. And that is pretty much across the board, that the Republicans is going to flip from Democrat to red. And so then it comes down to the House. Well, the House, everyone's up for election. And it really kind of depends on who wins the presidency. They're saying who wins the presidency may carry it. However, as in the last few elections, the popular vote is different than the Electoral College that a lot of people just disregard, but it's the way our country works, and it's a good system. People say, well, they didn't win the popular vote. Well, yeah, but they won the landmass vote. When you look at a country, in our country, the landmass is more red than blue. But we have these very populated coasts, that want to control the rest of the country. So if they both switch, you end up with gridlock. But there is a chance, the two most likely outcome is a red wave, okay? If that happens, oil, drill, baby, drill, that's what the president says would be good. Small U.S. companies. Why small companies? Well, they're all predominantly U.S. He's got that MAGA, Make America Great. He's going to do everything he can for them. And then defense and steel industries, he's already made it known. He wants to keep the steel here, bring manufacturing here. That would happen. Now, there's a smaller chance that you have a Democratic blue wave. Kamala wins the House, she carries the House. And that's what they're basically saying. Whoever wins the presidency could carry the House, but that would be a blue wave, but the Senate still might cause that to happen, to not be all blue. So that's really the least likely scenario is what they're saying. They're saying if Kamala wins, she won't have the Senate, but she'd win the House, because they would ride her coattails. But in that situation, green energy would work. Solar companies, anything to do with energy generation, AI, artificial intelligence, she's all for that. And then international companies will do much better under a Harris presidency than under a Trump, because he's going to put the tariffs out there. But the likely scenario is this gridlock. And that is the check and balance where neither candidate gets their way. And that would alleviate a lot of the concerns people have. That's why the people who want to sell everything right now, probably a bad idea. I mean, it really is. Just watch and see. Markets are hitting all-time highs. Seasonally, we're entering the best season of the markets. We have earnings coming out. They're all doing good. The economy's growing at a 3% GDP. Things are pretty good. Don't sell because of some extraneous thing that's in your head. Seriously.
That may never even come to fruition.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So better to be proactive in planning than reactive and having regrets.
Well, again, if you want to do it, hey, it's your money. Do the safe thing. But if you're going to do it in a non-qualified, meaning your regular taxable account, you better look to see, did you buy Apple at $20 a share 15, 20 years ago, and now you got this big tax hit. You've got to take taxes into consideration. If it's a retirement account, there's no tax implication. Go ahead and make the sell. Otherwise, they can call me up. And there are ways to hedge yourself with offsetting things that can help you. But
at this time of year, are you more counselor than you are investment planner? Do you feel that way?
This time I truly am. Okay. It really, and it's funny because it's both sides. They just, it's so crazy. I'm more of a moderate middle guy and always have been. I don't like any politicians really. None of them are talking about the debt. So, I don't have a candidate in the race, if you will. Because
in the history of the past two elections, there hasn't been a giant market swing right after the election. There hasn't been major movement in the markets, right? So I think, at least judging on past performance, it isn't as big an impact as people make it up to be.
Well, Michael, the statistics generally show that right after an election, no matter who wins, especially if it's someone new, which this time whoever wins is going to be new, right? There usually is this honeymoon period of time that lasts for most of their first year. So that's another reason why I'm pretty optimistic. I don't care who wins. It's going to be probably a pretty good run for the market because we're inheriting a good market, a good economy.
All right, if people want to come see you face to face, hear what you have to say, we have a different date this month. It's usually the 4th Thursday, but now we're doing the 3rd Thursday.
Well, yeah, usually the 2nd, but yeah, we had to move it out. Something about Clubhouse 7. We're going to talk about all this. We're not going to get into, who should win and all that sort of stuff. It's just what to do based on potential outcomes and a little bit more detail on how to hedge yourself. Yeah, it's this Thursday, 3 to 5, Clubhouse 7.
Okay.
Wonderful.
And some of the things people can come ask, what are some examples of questions
Well,
people
people
should?
can come ask me anything.
Okay, I
anyone,
like that.
that's why it's called the Financial Forum. Anyone who's concerned, it's not just me answering the questions, it's the group. I mean, people help each other.
Right.
There's sophisticated investors and there's very novice investors. You don't have to sign in, you don't have to RSVP, just show up, just listen, participate if you want to, ask your questions if you want to. It's a good group.
Okay.
Sounds
Jay
wonderful.
Slusowicz from Pacific Financial Planners, thank you so much for joining us today. Appreciate it. And we're going to
Thank
stick
you.
with the political theme here. We're going to have the Republican Club up next. Stay with us.
Hi, welcome to Pacific Financial Planners. We focus on income replacement for your retirement. We have over 3 decades of professional money management experience. We personalize a plan that's right for you and your family. You only get one shot at retirement. Don't you think you better get it right? So give us a call for your free consultation. We can do this over the phone, via Zoom, or in person.
Go beyond better hearing with artificial intelligence. At Advanced Ear Care, we've taken regular hearing care to a new level with artificial intelligence performance. This provides smarter, clearer balance of sound. Artificial intelligence identifies background noises and reduces them so you can hear the soft-spoken speech clearly. Don't be afraid of this technology. It works automatically. Put them on and hear better all day in all situations. Hear the conversations clearly with family, friends, and caregivers. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
At Harvard Eye Associates
We are committed to your vision care.
and quality of life.
It's a commitment we don't take lightly.
Our trusted team of doctors provides specialized eye care using state-of-the-art technology.
We deliver what matters to you.
And your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
For some of you, it may be time to replace your dated windows and doors. I'm a resident of Laguna Woods and have served the community for 10 years. As a women-owned business, you can trust Window Jazz to provide seamless service from the moment we meet to the completion of the job. Most jobs are completed in just 1 day.
Window Jazz put windows in my home. The service was amazing, the price couldn't be beat, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Call Window Jazz now to schedule your free consultation.
And welcome back. Like I said, we're going to stick with politics here today. We want to welcome from the Republican Club, Pat Mincone, and Brigadier General Michael Aguilar. Thank you for joining us. You're going to be our guest speaker at the Republican Club coming up, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm very excited to be able to share the exciting news about the Flying Leatherneck Aviation Museum.
Okay.
Wow, I can't wait
now,
to
Pat,
hear more
how
about
did you
that.
how did you come to meet General Aguilar, and how did you get him to come to the meeting? And
Yeah, well, I met him in the spring. Another club in the area, the Saddleback Valley Club, invited him to come, and I saw him. I heard he was coming, and you know, we're having our veterans event, and I said, "Ooh, I think I'd like to invite him." So I went and heard him, and he gave a great presentation. That's how I met him, and I just met him also recently at the prayer breakfast in Costa Mesa. So we're excited about having him.
That's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your history and your career.
Well, in 1,000 words or less, born in Los Angeles, raised in the suburbs of Torrance, went to Long Beach State, joined the Marine Corps to see the world, and 75% of my career was spent here at Camp Pendleton. I flew Cobra helicopters, and 75% of the Marine Corps helicopters are for attack helicopters are at Camp Pendleton. So I ended up with 75% of my career there, with a little detour to Marine Corps Air Station, to MCRD, San Diego, where I had the privilege of being the director of the drill instructor school. Only aviator to do that, I think, up to this point. After that, I came back to Camp Pendleton, flew in squadrons, had the opportunity to command a squadron, HMLA 267. I also had an air group, and I had the air group at Camp Pendleton again. And then finally, I was taken back to Washington, D.C., where I had to spend my tour in Washington, D.C., down to Miami, Florida, towards the end of my career, and retired out of Miami, and then came back home to California.
So you didn't really get a chance to see the world,
but
you got to bounce around a little bit in the U.S.?
No.
Did you
In
go?
fact, during that time, you always deploy. So
Okay.
I made several deployments on board ship out of Camp Pendleton, went to the first Gulf War.
Did you?
And then while I was down in Miami, I was the commanding general for the Joint Task Force that turned the Panama Canal back over to the government of Panama. So I saw a good part of the world. In one of my tours in Washington, I was the military assistant to the Undersecretary for Policy in the Department of Defense. So I had the opportunity to travel all around the world with him in that capacity.
Okay. Now, one of your latest missions is going to be at the Fort Bragg El Toro Marine Corps Air Station, now known as the Great Park. What do you got going over there?
An exciting project. The Flying Leatherneck Aviation Museum actually began at Marine Corps Air Station El Toro, now called Great Park. When it closed in '99, the air station, along with the museum, moved down to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar, where we operated for 21 years. Unfortunately, it had to close. It was a Marine Corps museum. It had to close, but we were fortunate to be contacted by the city of Irvine, who asked us if we would discuss the opportunities with the Marine Corps to move the museum back to its original home, Marine Corps Air Station El Toro.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so we have now a private-public partnership between the city of Irvine, the Marine Corps, and the Flying Leatherneck Historical Foundation, which I'm the president and CEO of, to build a new facility at Great Park. In the meantime, we're transporting 40 aircraft from Miramar to El Toro, a great site going down the freeway. We're in the process of moving our last 7 aircraft, along with thousands of micro artifacts. They're all in storage at an old World War II hangar at Irvine, Great Park. We're now restoring the aircraft.
This is so exciting.
Building a
we
museum.
need to be covering this.
Yes,
it is. Out in the field and watching those. We need to film those gorgeous machines going down the freeway.
We are moving them this week, so I'll let you know, and you can grab some great shots of that.
Wow, I can't wait to see this. So is your helicopter going to be there?
Believe it or not, one of our 2 Cobra helicopters, I actually have flight time in the aircraft. So it's fitting that both of us end up at the museum.
There you go. You know, I grew up here in El Toro when it was still called El Toro, and I saw the helicopters going all the time. Of course, the jets coming in El Toro, but the Tustin Air Station as well. So it was amazing to see the sound of freedom almost every day going over our house.
Of course, the great air shows they used to put on
there.
Yeah,
I've been to so many of those. I used to sit on the Bake Street Bridge and watch them from there. It's great.
Sure.
The Blue Angels going over. Oh yeah, such a great time.
Great show.
No, Pat, a real quick change of subject though. Yeah. Between now and the election, the Republican Club is going to be pretty active. What if some of the things you have going on?
Well, we have people making calls, Michael. We have people walking neighborhoods to encourage everyone to get out to vote. We're also going to have a ballot marking party this coming Saturday. We had one a couple weeks ago. We're going to have one this coming Saturday at Clubhouse 5 at 2 o'clock. And we're encouraging people to come. We review the candidates and go over the propositions, which are always really tricky. And then we're also going to be having people, they can bring in their ballots. If they come to the ballot marking party, they can come and bring their ballots, and we deliver them to the registrar of voters in person. So that's going to be going on, and let's see. And then we have our meeting, of course, coming up. That's exciting. We're really excited about the meeting because not only to have General Aguilar, but we want to invite all of our Laguna Woods veterans to come and be our guests, have a complimentary lunch at this luncheon.
It's going to be at Clubhouse 5, right?
Yes, Clubhouse 5,
Okay.
Friday, November 1st, 11 to 2. But we ask all our club member veterans, they'll be our guests too, but if veterans in the village want to come, we'd love to have them. They just need to call. We have to have an RSVP so we have enough food.
Gotcha.
Call Patty Zingaro at 303-886-9600. But we'd love to have them join us.
Terrific.
That would be Excellent.
And to hear, of course.
Outing for them as well.
Our keynote speaker. We also have another speaker we have a spotlight hour after lunch. We have a gentleman, his name is Brian Horseman. He's the new chairman for the Honor Flight Southland. And Michael knows them too. He'll be presenting the program that they have to taking our veterans back to DC. Many of these veterans, especially the World War II veterans, had been going many years. We're now having more Vietnam veterans going back to DC. So we're excited about presenting that program as well. And we raise money every year to send our veterans back there.
Yeah, and some of them have, they lived with the pain of Vietnam for so long, they've never gone back to see those memorials. They've never gone to see the honor that was bestowed upon them on the mall out there. And so it's a great effort to bring them out there and do that.
Yes, it's such a worthy cause. We love doing it.
That's terrific.
And Pat, are you going to be incorporating any types of election activities, day of? What do you have planned for that day?
Yeah, we
party?
don't have anything. I know our friends on the other side are having a watch party. No, we haven't. We're so busy with the election, I really haven't had a chance to think about that. No, we're not doing that.
Just after your vote.
But we are going to celebrate after the election. We're going to set up a celebration after the election to celebrate the election.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
General, what got you to say you want to be involved in all of this? You could be retired, enjoying your golden years, but you're still active in kind of making sure that these planes are memorialized, the men and women who served are memorialized.
Well, as you know, once a Marine, always a Marine. And it's my opportunity now as I move along in my years here to share with the public, I think, some very important storylines, if you will. Of course, the first one for us is to honor the history and legacy of Marine Corps aviation. It's a museum, but more than that, it's an education center.
Absolutely.
All museums should be in education, and our emphasis is on education. So in addition to honoring the history and legacy of Marine Corps aviation, we're hoping our museum, our displays, will inspire a new sense of patriotism with our youth and all our visitors. On top of that, mentioning the veterans, what we're finding, because we do allow some veterans come and visit us at our hangar where we're storing the aircraft, it's a safe haven for veterans. They're in a comfortable space. So the museum, and our museum, we hope, will be a safe haven for them. Lastly, because we think it's critical to ensure our position in the world, our economic position in the world that contributes to security, that we inspire our youth to pursue the science, technology, engineering, and math disciplines. Yes. So that's what's got me all excited.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you guys very much, Republican Club and General Aguilar. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Bree.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of This Day. We ran out of time. Thanks for joining us. And for Bree and myself, I hope you make this day a great one.